going on today, YouTubers? Welcome to another edition of Walk-In Reviews. Today we're going to be taking a look at a new mid-tech knife. It did just release this year, and it is the Gerry McGinnis Proline Mini Exo. So initially these knives were released with all titanium, and just recently he started doing some very few in carbon fiber. I did own one of the titanium versions of this knife, and it had an issue that I had to send it back for, but I really wanted to give it another try because I mean it was a really fun flipper, so I figured I'd give this one a shot. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into the specs. We have just about a 3-inch blade of CPM 154, and you can see it's been given a really fine stone wash. There's Gerry McGinnis's maker's mark along with the Proline, indicating that this is a mid-tech, not a full custom. I guess we have like a combination blade here. It's almost like a sheep's foot drop point, somewhere in between there. What I can tell you is that it's a very useful blade shape, which is one of the reasons I wanted to get this knife again. It also has one of the best edges on a knife that I've ever gotten from the maker. It's an extremely sharp edge, and it's got almost like a mirror finish to it. The handles are carbon fiber on the show side that have been drilled out, given Gerry McGinnis's kind of his trademark hole pattern there, and then it's titanium on the lock side. There is no like lock bar insert or anything like that, which is fine though, because there really isn't any lock stick either. This knife has very good lock geometry. So the handles are about 4 inches long. It gives this knife an overall length of about 7 inches, just over 7 inches. It does run on caged ball bearings, so it is a very smooth knife. There really aren't many knives that I can think of that aren't running on ball bearings now though. So anyways, it's a very lightweight knife, this version. This is like 2.5 ounces. So incredibly lightweight. The original version I had, the all titanium version, which you'll probably see more of than the carbon fiber version, those come in just under 3.5 ounces. I think they're around 3.2. But if you do manage to get a hold of one of the carbon fiber knives, they're all around 2.5 ounces, 2.6 ounces, stuff like that. Alright, so let's talk about the good and the bad. The good, exceptional fit and finish. The centering is spot on perfect, as it was with the previous one that I owned. The flipping action is super fast. This one doesn't have as strong of a detent as the last one that I had, but it's still just as fast of a flipper. Very smooth thanks to the ball bearings. He did a really good job on the flipper tab. It's not huge, it's not tiny. It's got a nice run of jimping to grip your finger. So just really good job on the flipper tab. I'm not crazy about the pocket clip, but you know, it works. It's a spring titanium pocket clip. Like I said, the edge is exceptional. This thing is so sharp. I believe he takes his CPM 154 to around 59 on the Rockwell hardness, so should hold the edge for a good long while. And it should also be fairly easy to touch up. CPM 154 is a very easy steel to sharpen. Your lockup is right around, I guess, 30% or so. Very solid lockup, no movement anywhere. So, the bad. I'm not a huge fan of how large he makes the cut for the lock bar. It's more of an aesthetic thing for me. I mean, it does function perfectly, but I don't understand why they make giant relief cuts for the lock bar. Another bad, I debated whether or not to share this. The last one I had, it could have been a freak accident, but the last one I had, the reason I had to send it back was because the detent ball just fell out. I do flip my knives obsessively, but it was like the first day I had it, I went to close the knife and it felt odd, and I went to go open it again and it just kind of swung open, and then I looked inside and saw that the detent ball had fallen out. So luckily the store that I bought it from, Knife Center, was very understanding. They took the knife back and gave me a full refund, so I was, you know, confident enough to go ahead and try the new version, the carbon fiber version of the same knife. Normally a mistake like that and I'm out. You know, I don't give many second chances, especially at this level. The full titanium versions will run you anywhere from $500 to $600. The carbon fiber versions are going to run you about $725. So they're not cheap mid-techs. Oh, there goes my dog chasing a deer. Anyways, yeah, they're not cheap mid-techs by any stretch, but they are very high quality. You can see there's the G10 backspacer. Another interesting part about the build quality here, instead of using like barrel standoffs or anything like that, this is fairly simple construction. You have 1, 2, 3, just the pivot and then 2 screws. But instead of using like barrel spacers, he just uses a backspacer, just where the screws go. And they're only one side. You can see that they anchor in the titanium there. Ergonomically, this is one of the most comfortable knives in this size range. He really knows what he's doing. It's got a nice, just a gentle thumb ramp. The jimping is very effective and not sharp at all. You can see you can barely see the jimping, but it just works perfectly at locking your finger in. I wish more makers would use jimping like this. It's not crazy. You can barely see it. It's not there just for aesthetics. It's there because it works. So yeah, this knife is, I have fairly large hands, and this knife is very comfortable, even in my hands, for a smaller knife. And it's just a really good EDC design, thanks to the blade shape, thanks to the really nice edge. And it's also fun to play with, thanks to the really good flipping action. It's not, as you can see, it's not like fall shut, but it's, you know, it's getting there, it's close. It does need a little bit of break-in, so expect it only to get smoother from this point on. All right, yeah, I other than like those tiny things that I mentioned, you know, the lock bar cutout being kind of large, which I'm not a huge fan of aesthetically, and then the last one that I own having the detent ball fall out, there's really not a whole lot bad I can say about this knife. It is expensive for a mid-tech, so I mean, be prepared to pay, especially if you want the carbon fiber version. You know, $725, in my opinion, should get you into custom territory. Gerry McGinnis is a very in-demand maker, so I mean, I guess he can charge that and have people pay it. I mean, I did, so take that for what it's worth. Exceptionally sharp edge, really useful blade shape, incredibly lightweight package, 2.5 ounces. Fun flipper, not the greatest pocket clip, but it works. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I'll see you on the next video. I'm gonna wait until I have an iPhone 7 coming, so I'm gonna wait until that comes in to do the next video. And the next video is gonna be a knife that I have been waiting a very long time for, the EXK Plus by Trevor Berger. So definitely stay tuned for that. I should have the iPhone 7 here probably by the end of the week. So, all right, guys, take it easy. I'll see you on the next one.